We've come to the back end of the show. I'm going to be leaving you, but I'm going to be leaving you with a very, very powerful conversation that was had last night on Wednesday nights with Inayat Wadi, where Uncle Inayat turned his attention to Jammu and Kashmir. This is 6 years after the Indian government revoked Article 370, stripping the region of its special status. What changed since then? Has peace truly returned, or has repression deepened? He had a wonderful panel. His guests included Irfan Quraishi. She's a veteran Kashmiri journalist with over 15 years in media, and also Salman Khan. He's the founder and chairman of Kashmir Global Movement, the South African chapter. And if you missed that compelling conversation, we have a repeat on it. And otherwise, I'll be back with you again next week, Tuesday. And Inayat Wadi will be with you for the Juma Friday edition of News and Views. Otherwise, from myself, Salailo, and the rest of the team, it's goodbye. Shop, shop.
But since I believe there are, both claims and counterclaims between India and Pakistan over the Kashmir, and that has definitely some political developments in past few years in Kashmir. That's what we are talking about today. That is the state of affairs in Jammu and Kashmir post abrogation. Now you can see that all the international platforms since last many years have now stopped to talk about Kashmir political issue, between India and Pakistan. But since now the various, very serious concern in Jammu and Kashmir is the abrogation of Article 370 and Article 35A in 2019, and that has led to the mass protests across Kashmir. In fact, the mainstream political parties have also since 2019 raised serious questions on the Bharatiya Janata Party led government in the center. Now, as you see, there are also, lot of escalations between the two countries along the line of control, over the Kashmir. In fact, India also blamed Pakistan for terrorism in Kashmir, and definitely, as you know, recently we have witnessed the Operation Sindoor that was led by the India. But Pakistan also had certain claims over the facts of the Operation Sindoor. But the point is that the Kashmir has now transited, towards a different political scenario since last many years now, because it was a matter of a political dispute between the two countries, and both the countries had claimed for this part of Kashmir. But now the Bharatiya Janata Party led government in India has abrogated the Article 370, and the now demand has shifted from the freedom struggle to the revocation of the Article 370 and 35A in last many years. In fact, there are also apprehensions that the present government may, further, trifurcate, in fact, the Jammu and Kashmir, because it has already bifurcated between Jammu, Kashmir, and Ladakh, and has turned Kashmir and Jammu into a different union territory, and Ladakh also bifurcated from the state of J&K. Now there are also, continuous demands. In fact, there is also intervention of the Supreme Court for the several political concerns regarding the Jammu and Kashmir. Which is, in fact, as you also said, the dispute between the two countries that need international attention, which is lacking since last many years now. But Kashmir is in a transition. That is a serious transition. People here are definitely, facing a lot of political issues, and the concerns in past many years have changed from the struggle for the resolution of Kashmir to the restoration of statehood and the special status of Jammu and Kashmir. That is what we have to understand, and definitely the government in the center, led by the Bharatiya Janata Party, has tried their best to integrate the Jammu and Kashmir into the mainstream of Union of India. But there are also, protests. There are also concerns that are yet to address, and United Nations are also being appealed upon by the several stakeholders time to time to intervene into the political, resolution of the state of Jammu and Kashmir.
Yes, Jazakallah for that, Irfan. And let's just bring Salman into the discussion. Salman, there is just so much reference that is being made to Article 370. And we know a lot has changed in Jammu and Kashmir after the abrogation. But let's just put it in simple words because, we want to utilize Article 370 as a discussion point. But just to understand what is Article 370 and why this is so relevant to this discussion that we are having tonight.
Jazakallah khair for having me. And Subhana, is like, Fasabbih bismi rabbikal a'la allazi, all the praises to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator, the perisher, the protector, and whatever between the heaven and the earth. And all the salutation go to our Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Once again, thank you for the Islam media for being with the solidarity of a Kashmiri people for many years, and especially the Inad Bhai and Ponti for before even the Islam media start. They always been the part and parcel of it, and they are the few people, few souls that we call it really the line of Kashmir. And I would not say, going without saying, that Inad Bhai Ponti, his team, as well as the Yusuf Tayyub, Feroz Boda, and many other, Zaid Patel, they've been at the really, really core, hardcore mujahid for the Kashmir. May Allah Ta'ala reward you to becoming the voice and providing this very important platform. Now, coming back to your point, Inad Bhai, that we have discussed many times before, but it is important for us to put up a context to this Article 370 for the local audience, those who do not maybe understand that, like, what is the Article 370 and what is a 35A? What is it, where it's come from, what it is actually. So let me just put you in a historical context, which is going to set up our further discussion, and I think it will give us a direction. Now, before the India and Pakistan emerged as a two dominion, and at the time of the British liquidation in 1947, of course, there was a Quit India campaign. There was many other pressure, formation of the Muslim League and the Indian National Congress, so on and on, that the British was forced to leave. I mean, there were many other reasons why they have to leave. But of course, they wanted to dismantle the unity between the Muslims and the Hindus. Those was living in peacefully for 700 years under the Mughal emperor. Before even in 1858, before the British arrived and take it over the eastern land of the India and Pakistan, which is called now subcontinent, there were 565 independent states. Those were directly have their chamber of prince in British Parliament. Now the problem happened is that those people, those who were actually these princes or this sovereign state, they were governed directly as a sovereignty under the paramountcy of the British Maharaj. Now, at the departure of the British, there was it was a 1935, the Act of Indian Independence. It was revised in 1947. Now, what was the Act of Independence? The Act of Independence was that British see themselves, they have to exit one way or another way. And when they were exiting, they say, now the new sovereign countries or the new dominion will be based on this formula. That was one is majority Hindu populous area will become Hindustan, the majority Muslim part will become Pakistan, and all the other independent states, those are Buddhist or Hindu or Mara, they have the right to either accede peacefully to India or Pakistan or remain independent, but there will be no more supervision or paramountcy from the British anymore. Now, when it's come to the awarding of these, the territories or exceeding, of course, 560, some of them went smoothly, but majority of them, the big Junagadh, Hyderabad, Meniwara, Kashmir, and many other ones, was forcefully incorporated by the India against the will of the ruler and the subject into the Hyderabad is one of the biggest and the richest used to be the Junagadh. When it's come to the incorporation or the taking over of the territory, which is 86,000 square kilometer, 3 times the size of a Great Britain, and it's a populace of 14 million people. Of course, the contiguity geographically and as well as a religious Pakistan border touches, and there was a civil war breakout when the Indian forces illegally landed in 1947 on the 27th of October. Now, Nehru took straight away a very predetermined decision that it will be walk in a garden, going to United Nations, taking this as a complaint that the Pakistan is interfering and there is a civil war has been break out and we should be giving the total territory into our hand. He was surprised by, after listening the United Nations Security Council, listening to the complaint from India and of course the counterclaim from Pakistan. They decided, and it is a very famous, the resolution 47 of 1948 come about, which says neither the India nor the Pakistan have any rightfulness onto the territory of Kashmiri. Kashmir belonged to the Kashmiri people, and that's where it is. And India was given a task that to bring the normalcy into the region and call free and fair plebiscite within 3 months. Now, India accepted it. Jawaharlal Nehru issued a very famous at the All Indian in the New Delhi statement that we do not like forced marriages. If the people of Kashmir wanted to part away and they wanted to be with Pakistan or want to be independent, we will not force them to be, even though it will hurt us. Now, what happened is India denied that free and fair plebiscite for many excuses, and the time prolonged it. United Nations issued 18 different, up to today, 18 different resolutions enforcing that this plebiscite must happen. Now, in 1954, the Indian government, not the BJP, the Congress, they infiltrated into the political system, and through the Sheikh Abdullah, they say, look, we have another deal for you. You still stay as a semi-autonomous status. We will only control 3 things. One is your fiscal. You don't print your currency. You don't have your own telecommunication, and also the border we will control through the military. You can have your own parliament. You can have political party. You can have education system, and you are completely independent, and you have a semi-autonomous status. Now, that was not taken by the majority of the people. Political, yes, structure accepted it, but it was not taken. That's why the uprising continued. We call it the first intifada. The second intifada happened in the 1989. And from there onward, of course, the Burhan Wani come, the new generation. And that has changed the whole game changer, because that proven that Burhan Wani and many other, Mannan and so many of them, they were indigenous Kashmiris. Like brother Irfan is sitting there. I'm surprised to see that he is not behind the bar. MashaAllah, Allah Ta'ala protect him. But that was a game changer. When the world seen that there is indigenous movement, is no longer the Indian can blame, then what happened is, okay, now let's go back just 1 minute more in 1954, when this new article was introduced, India changed its own constitution by 370, amendment bring 370, and 35A was belonged to Kashmir. Of course, it is 35A, B, C, Junagadh and many other territories, those who wanted to have their own independence, they were all given a semi-autonomous status, okay? Now, in 2019, prelude to the BJP and Modi coming into the office, he had a project 44. I'm sure Irfan will know what is a project 44 was. A BJP was that when I'm going into the office, I will make sure by hook or by crook, Kashmir is no longer the part as a territorial or international territorial dispute. It will be taken by the force and we will bring into the fold of Indian Union. And that exactly what he done in 2019 on the 5th of August against the wills. He put all the legislative authority and all the political prisoner into the house arrest, into the jail. 30,000 people was abducted, and then unilaterally, illegally, against the wishes of United Nations or any other party, Simla Accord, Tashkent Accord, they say is no longer valid, and we're dividing the territory into the Kashmir, into the valley, as well as into the Ladakh. Now, that is where the problem is. From there, of course, from the 1947 until today, over 100,000 people have been killed. It's not my figure, it's Amnesty International, human rights bodies. 7,000 mass graves have been found. Kunan Pushanpura is a black dark spot onto the Indian army. There are many incidents happen. Burhan Wani, when he died, is like 1 million people was in his funeral. And today, until today, every day, the media doesn't go quiet because of the Shaheed. May Allah Ta'ala reward him for his sacrifice. So now the article taking away the autonomous status, changing of the demography, changing of the status that you have, you as a Kashmiri, you lose your identity because the Kashmir is no longer the part of a Kashmir or any autonomous state. Any Indian, Hindu, or anybody else from any place can come and buy the land and live there illegally, and they were changing the electoral, they were changing the legislation, and it's still today. The Sheikh Abdullah and his son, most of the political leaders, Mirwaz and Jilani, most of them, some of them died. This is where is the double lockdown come about, and that's where is the injustice. And I hope and believe that this thing, Antonio Guterres have said on record, the Secretary General of the United Nations, that India Act, unilateral act, and the illegal act will not replace the international dispute territory status at the United Nations, and is still all as it. So that is where is what we as a Kashmiris are saying, that abrogation or revoking of the article unilaterally was illegal, and we should be given our right back as a independent or semi-autonomous status.
Yes.
More than ever. Homes have been shattered and families have lost everything. With your support, our teams are delivering clean water tankers, feeding the hungry and assisting orphans who have no one left. Let us give Gaza whatever help we can. African Muslims Agency, empowering, educating, inspiring.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness, and every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and freezer card calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
When the perfect blend of stylish decor, exquisite halal cuisine, and warm hospitality come together, it could only mean Al Bayt Lodge, your true home away from home. Al Bayt is the ideal heaven for families, business people, and tourists, with its 4-star family rooms and other luxurious facilities, conveniently situated close to Port Elizabeth Airport, the beach, and other amenities. Your stay will be truly unforgettable, as you'll be taking home lasting memories of the warm hospitality, the serenity and tranquility that Al Bayt has to offer. For reservations, call 041 583 6415 or visit www.albaytlodge.co.za.
Searching for elite local and international investment and advisory services from an award-winning firm? Look no further than the Belmont Mayer Group, your gateway to unparalleled investment and wealth management. At Belmont Mayer, we believe in the art of wealth creation, a meticulous process fueled by our unwavering commitment to excellence. With a focus on providing elite alternative investments and quality advice, we also pride ourselves on maximizing value for our esteemed investors, as seen through our consistent outperformance. Your financial success is our top priority. Join us at Belmont Mayer and experience the difference firsthand. Ready to embark on a journey of greatness? Contact us today. Reach out to the Belmont Mayer Group on 078 786 1698. Call or WhatsApp or email us at info@belmontmayer.com. Elevate your financial future with Belmont Mayer, where every detail matters.
Discover the Africa of your dreams and surround yourself with her spectacular beauty. Relax beneath her serene sunsets and explore wildlife at its natural best. It's where the pride of Africa comes together. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Get to know the Big Five or cruise on an elephant safari game drive. Interact with lion and tiger cubs and enjoy world-class halal cuisine while we pamper you during your 5-star stay. Indulge in the true African experience. For reservations, call now on 042 203 1400 or visit kwantu.co.za. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve, the place of gathering.
Connect and stay ahead with Salam Media. This is Salam Media, coming to you live from South Africa.
So, Jazakallah for that, Salman Bhai. And I think, Salman Bhai has provided the historical context and also in the build-up and we know it was, this is very relevant because it was on August the 5th, 2019, where the Article 370 was actually abrogated as well. So it is, exactly 6 years that we are talking about, Irfan. But, Salman has mentioned just so much. And again, when we're drawing these parallels between Israel and India, again, expansionist policies, the very same that we are seeing. And I think for people to understand what is happening in Kashmir is exactly the same. Like Salman Bhai alluded to the fact that anybody from India can come and now they can buy land or they can take over land in Kashmir. We see it happening in Palestine all the time. We see it, what's the plan, the greater plan for Gaza is as well. And let's just talk about India. Now, India tried to justify this by saying that this Article 370 will usher in an era of peace, an era of development. It will pave the way for closer integration of the Kashmir Valley with the rest of India. Just your thoughts on India's justification and what India is claiming the Article 370 is supposed to do for them.
Right. See, like Mr. Salman, rightly pointed out the historical context of the whole, Kashmir issue. I don't need that to elaborate anymore. But the point is, if we talk about the current political scenario or the status of Jammu and Kashmir and what is exactly happened and what actually people are talking about here is post 2019, like I earlier said that there is a huge transition from the demands of resolution of Kashmir issue to the demands of restoration of statehood in Article 370 and 35A. As of now, I am talking to you. There are people in the mainstream who have a different stakes, and there are people in the Hurriyat conference, or as India called them, separatists. They have a different stakes and opinion towards the issue. Their demands have been really very different. Now the point is, as of now, Jammu and Kashmir is struggling politically, as well as the resolution of Kashmir is somewhere lost in between the conflict of interests of those who demand resolution of Kashmir issue as per the United Nations, and between those who want integration with the Union of India. Now the point is, those political parties who had ruled Jammu and Kashmir over the several decades, like the Muftis and Abdullahs, especially the Farooq Abdullah, and now the son of the Farooq Abdullah, Mr. Omar Abdullah, is the chief minister in the Union Territory. That is also a serious concern for India now, because these are the people who have sought pledge to be with the Union of India for several decades so far, but now they are demanding the restoration of the real status that was given to the people of Jammu and Kashmir post accession between the J&K and the Union of India. As of now, the agenda of the Bharatiya Janata Party, that is the ruling party in the India, like Mr. Salman rightly pointed out, had a mission, and that mission was definitely that the Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir, is somehow to be integrated, and the Article 370 and 35A is a main hurdle between the integration and the Union of India. But there are definitely serious challenges for the India in Jammu and Kashmir as of now. As after the abrogation of 370, there are challenges for the people from different parts of India, as they are not exactly able to buy land here because of the several issues. Like there is definitely a huge cultural difference. They are not able to actually make the return of the Kashmiri Panthas, possible. That is also raising serious concern before the Modi government, because when they are not able to make the return of Kashmiri Panthas possible to their homeland, how the people of India can, have trust on the present regime, and they will go ahead and buy land in Kashmir that is sensitive. There are, everyday reports of gunfights and some serious challenges to the security establishments. Like recently, Kashmir witnessed, a huge and massive attack in Pahalgam. That definitely shows that there is a resistance within Kashmir as of now, even though the government of India claims that there is huge normalcy in last 5 to 6 years after the abrogation of 370. One point I agree with the current regime is that definitely they were able to choke down or to normalize the street protests and the protests that were actually organized and handled by the separatist organizations like Hurriyat Conference. They were able to have some control on them, because dozens and scores of leaders of those organizations are already behind bars. Some of the senior leaders of Hurriyat Conference have passed away, and a huge number of, in fact, the pro Hurriyat Conference ideological people were taken to task by the security establishments. That led them to somehow take control over the streets of Kashmir. But definitely there are still people who definitely demand a resolution for Kashmir issue. The sentiment is alive. In fact, the mainstream political parties, like the one is in the ruling, the National Conference, and the top leaders from the National Conference, as well as the opposition, led by the member Mufti of People's Democratic Party, they also demand Union of India that the status and the identity of J&K that was given via Article 370 and 35A should be given back to them. In fact, they are also demanding for the restoration of statehood. That is what is challenged by these political parties and several other groups in the Supreme Court, that is the highest court in India, and that is expected to be heard on the 8th of August. In fact, I would like to share a very important information with you. That is, tomorrow there is a meeting of opposition political parties and leaders in New Delhi going to happen, in which the former Chief Minister and the patron of National Conference, he is also father of the present Chief Minister Umar Abdullah. He said that they are going to appeal these political opponents of BJP to support them to voice against what has happened in 2019 with Jammu and Kashmir, and they want these all political parties across party lines to support Jammu and Kashmir for the restoration of statehood and their identity. That is what is important to understand right now. There is also, voices within the Congress, that is the major opposition of the BJP in India, who are opposing what has happened in 2019. The Bharatiya Janata Party bifurcated the state of J&K. Ladakh was separated. Now there are also voices and also supported by the BJP that the Jammu province may be separated and given a different separate status, and Kashmir may be kept as a union territory like Chandigarh and other states in India who were converted or actually in fact right now as operating as union territories. There are a lot of confusion in Jammu and Kashmir within the political domain, because on the anniversary of Article 370, 6th anniversary, there were a lot of rumors on social media and within the political groups that there will be some major development in regard to the Jammu and Kashmir, because there is an ongoing monsoon parliament session going on in Indian Parliament, in which it's expected that the issue of Jammu and Kashmir is to be debated, and that is what the National Conference, which is the party in the power in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir right now, is demanding that a bill should be passed for the restoration of statehood. But that is what is happening inside the political affairs of J&K and within the political parties who have sought pledge on the Constitution of India. But there are also people across the globe who definitely want a better resolution for Kashmir as per the United Nations.